Okay, I wanted to put a fun little twist on real estate today. So I asked kids to explain real estate vocabulary. And let me tell you, their answers were adorable. They were hilarious, totally unpredictable. And honestly, some of them really weren't that far off. I might even start having to use their definitions. All right, so let's start with the first one. Let's see what they think an inspection period means.
If I said we have an inspection period, when you're buying a house and you go under contract and now you're in the inspection period, what does that mean?
Probably like lights went out.
The lights went out? Mm-hmm.
Let's be done with that one.
Let's be done with that one. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Why have I get to do jokes now?
What?
How you do jokes?
You want to do jokes now?
So all these are jokes and you did the questions. How about that?
Okay, how about that? You want to tell me a joke?
Why does a chicken cross the road?
I don't know. Why does a chicken cross the road?
Because it needs to get to the other slide.
Oh, that's funny. Did you make that one up?
I had that one for a while.
So let's start off with an easy one. What do you think the inspection period is? When you're selling a home and you start off with the inspection period, what would that mean?
Like someone comes to see if there's like any stuff that like you forgot or like that you shouldn't have.
What would be something you shouldn't have?
Nuclear bombs.
That would be bad. Have nuclear bombs in your house. I agree with you there. Okay, those were pretty creative, right? So now that we've heard the kids' versions, let me walk you through what these terms actually mean, especially if you're thinking about buying a home or relocating to Lake Havasu City or the surrounding areas. Hi, I'm Christina Horton with the Horton team at Keller Williams Arizona Living Realty. And in this video, I'm breaking down some of the most important real estate terms that buyers need to know in a simple, easy to understand way so that you can feel confident and prepared when you go to purchase a home. Today we're talking about earnest money, seller concessions, that's a crazy term, escalation clauses, what the heck is that, escrow, and appraisal. So whether you're a first-time buyer, you're moving from out of state, or you're just starting to explore the Lake Havasu market, this will help you understand what's really happening behind the scenes when you make an offer. If somebody said you need earnest money, what's that?
Like money to like pay like rent or something.
All right, let's start with earnest money. We just heard what the kids thought it meant, so here's the real version. Earnest money is simply the deposit that you put down when you make an offer on a home, and it shows the seller that you're serious. Basically, it answers the seller's question of how committed are you to buying my house? So how much do you actually need to put down? Here in Lake Havasu, you'll typically see around 1% of the purchase price to be enough, but it really depends on the situation. So questions like, is this home brand new to the market? Does it have multiple offers, or has it been sitting there for a while? Are all good questions to ask. And all of those things matter. And this is where your real estate agent really should be guiding you. Now that money is going to be held safely at the title company. And as long as you follow the contract, it gets applied toward your closing costs or your down payment. So there are risks with earnest money. And yes, there are situations where you could actually lose it. But when you're properly advised, earnest money becomes just another negotiation tool to help you write a strong, attractive offer.
There's a lot of kind of funny things that people say when they're buying a house. Like there's a word called seller concessions. What does that sound like it means?
Like a chicken, a farm was like selling a house, and they call it a chicken house. Like it stands for the chicken.
Oh. So seller concessions would be a house for chickens.
Yeah, and then the farmer lives in another house that's close by it.
Oh. So he can keep an eye on his chickens, the farmer can?
And then the other animals can be in that one.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
So what do you think seller concessions would be?
Like stands for people like buy stuff from the house.
Stands? What do you mean by stands?
Like little stands with like a garage sale or like a yard sale.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Seller concessions. What the heck is that? This is actually when the seller agrees to help pay some of the buyer's closing costs. And that can include things like loan fees, title costs, or even helping buy down your interest rate. It has nothing to do with chickens. Now, for a lot of buyers, especially those that are relocating, seller concessions can make a huge difference in how much cash that you need up front. And honestly, we're seeing concessions a lot more right now than we did just a few years ago. We are actively using them with our buyers as well, and we have had some really great outcomes. But this is why I always recommend that you talk to a lender early. Even if you're not planning to buy a home for 3 months, 6 months, even a year from now, having those conversations early lets you explore your options without all the pressure and the stress of having to make those rushed decisions when you're on a time crunch when you do find that perfect home.
Cooper, what do you think an escalation clause would be?
It's like when you buy like an escalator for something,
So maybe put an escalator in the house?
so they can get up the stairs faster.
Okay. Who later in their house?
Maybe like people who like have disabilities with their legs, maybe.
That's pretty thoughtful. Or they could do an elevator. Do you think escalators are more fun than elevators, or do you like elevators better?
Elevators.
Why? Because there's all the buttons, or what?
Because it like, I feel like it would take a little faster.
Oh.
But so on one side I like the elevator more, on the other I like the escalator more, because an elevator could just like, the cables could just snap and you could just fall.
Ooh, that's not good.
Okay, now let's talk about escalation clauses. This is something that you might include in an offer when there are multiple buyers interested in the same home. It basically says, I'm offering this price, but if someone else offers more, I'm willing to beat it up to a certain limit. So for example, let's say you offer $350,000 for a home, but you know there are multiple offers. You might say, I'll beat the next highest offer by $1,000 until we reach $375,000. Now that way you're not automatically jumping straight to your highest number if you don't need to. We saw escalation clauses all the time in the strong sellers market that we had a few years ago. And from the listing side, they drove me nuts, I'll be honest. They can get really complicated. And that's why it's so important to work with an agent who has experience representing both buyers and sellers. When you understand how sellers review offers, it really gives you a huge advantage when you're writing one.
What does escrow mean?
When you like escort the nuclear bomb out and stuff like that.
Escrow means to escort the nuclear bomb out? That sounds dangerous. Would you do the escorting of the nuclear bomb? Or
Absolutely not.
Oh, who would you have do it?
You.
Me? The realtor? That sounds like it's beyond my pay.
Or the realtor's agent.
The realtor's agent can do the escorting the bomb out of the house?
Yeah, or you could call the FBI.
Sounds kind of dangerous to sell houses out.
We just heard what the kids thought it meant. So here's the real version. Escrow is that neutral third party that holds everything during the transaction. The money, the paperwork, the instructions until the deal is ready to close. Think of escrow as that middleman, making sure that everyone does what they agreed to do before the home officially changes hands. So in Arizona, that's handled by the title company. They're not only making sure that you get clear title, they're also making sure the funds are handled properly and that both sides follow the contract.
Okay, this is kind of a hard one. What do you think the appraisal is?
Probably when someone like tells you that you can sell it.
So until the appraiser comes and tells you can sell it, you can't sell it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And finally, the appraisal. This is when a licensed professional determines the value of the home. And this is not for the seller, it's for the lender. The lender wants to make sure that the home is actually worth what they're lending money on. The appraiser will come out and look at things like recent sales of similar homes that are nearby, the size and condition of the home, upgrades and improvements that have been done, and overall market activity that's happening. Now here's the part that buyers worry about the most. What happens if the appraisal comes in lower than the purchase price. If that happens, it doesn't mean the deal is dead. This is where strategy and negotiation really come into play. You usually have a few different options. The seller can agree to lower the price. You and the seller can decide to meet somewhere in the middle, or you have to bring in the difference in cash. Or in some cases, you may be able to walk away depending on your contract. So this is exactly why it's so important to work with an agent who understands how to structure your offer from the very beginning. When we write offers, we are not just thinking about price, we're thinking about what the home is likely to appraise for, how strong the comparable sales are, and how to protect you if something unexpected comes up. So while the appraisal can feel like a hurdle, it's really just there to protect you. And with the right guidance, it's just another step in the process. So while the kids gave us the fun versions, these are the real meanings behind some of the most important terms that you're going to hear when you're in the middle of buying a home. So if you're thinking about relocating to Lake Havasu City or one of the surrounding cities and you want someone to walk you through the process step by step without the stress, I would love to help. Make sure to like, subscribe, and to reach out if you have any questions. And tell me in the comments, which real estate term confused you the most when you first started looking at homes? I just might cover it in my next video.
You got another one?
This is gonna be a Christmas one.
Okay.
So why does Santa go in a sleigh?
I don't know. Why doesn't he just take a car?
'Cause he has to get it faster so he can get the reindeer to the reindeer slide.
Oh, that makes sense. Who told you these jokes?
I just made them up.
Wow. You're pretty smart. Jen, how old are you?
4.
4 years old? Are you in school?
Yep.
Yeah?
But school's out for a while.
Because of Thanksgiving?
No, 'cause of Christmas.
Oh.
'Cause Thanksgiving passed already.
Uh-huh. And then it's going to be Christmas?
Yep.
What are you doing for Christmas?
Like we're already setting up.
Oh, do you have a Christmas tree at your house?
Yep. We have one's baby, one's my mom and dad's, one's brother's, one is mine.
You have 4 Christmas trees at your house?
So baby's on her desk, and mine's on my desk, and brother's is on his desk. And mommy and daddy's can't be in their room because it's too big and stuff is in the way, so it's in the living room.
Oh, mm-hmm. That's a good place to put a Christmas tree, is in the living room. Does it have lights on it?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we put ornaments on.
Mm-hmm.
And the lights connect to it. They attach to it.
Mm-hmm.